going on, guys? Episode 54. Now, I had a bunch of shit to talk about today. I had a bunch of shit to talk about today. And then Ford, decided to squat over your breakfast and just take the biggest, juiciest dump of crap and just lay it on your lap and say, "This is our new offering. Hello, everybody. This is the best Mustang we have made." Yeah, every time there's this always, the most. By the way, give me a sound check real quick. Thank you, YouTube Corrupt and our free speech. Lightning Blue Meanie. Trevor, who the hell's Trevor? That's a new one. Jason's in the house. Anyway, all the usual suspects are here early, the true fans. And I wanted to talk about Corvette running a 10-second NA. But fuck it. It is Mach 1 all day, every day. The most I was almost underwhelmed to death. Like, I was just like, oh my God, what a piece of. But then the thing that really kind of irks me about media, car media specifically, is the fluff pieces. Yeah, the fluff pieces where everyone's out there going, my thoughts on this is it's not going to be popular, but I think it's the best GT since, and I'm like, dude, you're getting paid by Ford to write that article. Like, please be quiet. Holy shit, Carson Little. Look, if this is how it's gonna be, if this is how we're gonna get after shit, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem, Carson Little. But thank you, Carson Little. He just said, y'all crazy, and give me $100, just like that. Me and Carson Little talked a little bit over email. Dude's nuts. But anyway, Mach 1. These people are out there trying to tell you that this is I don't know, I guess people need to take note of this car. It's not like the Corvette unveiling, but it sure as hell took over my feed. It took over my feed. It took over absolutely everything. And I was just like, why? It's a PP3, right? It's basically a PP3 performance pack Magna ride with a trans cooler and a diff cooler, right? I think. And I'm like, so it's basically a Bullitt with Magna ride and a couple other things to make it, not GT-ish. But you got to understand, people like me, tuners, everyone tuning, we were just talking about it. I'm like, this is such an underwhelming, no one cares vehicle. 480 horsepower, so it still makes less horsepower than the GT350. Oh, but Alex, at least it doesn't have the engine trouble. Well, yeah, it doesn't have to have the engine trouble. The GT350 is still a better track vehicle. But what about the suspension? What about the suspension? It's a PP2 with a couple of extra coolers and cool paint. And a GT350 intake manifold, cold air, and throttle body. Basically, a Bullitt version of a PP3 Mustang. Ford did not give two shits about the consumer on this one. This is my issue. This is my gripe. I understand people wanting to look back at lineage and go, well, Ford has always done this. Ford has always gone back and made just a slightly better version than a GT. And what's the big deal? The big deal is, right, we don't give a fuck about what happened before. There's a DCT transmission out there floating around. Why wasn't it dropped in this car? Why wasn't it dropped in this car? Why isn't a TR6060 dropped in this car? Why is it to this day that the most popular vehicle, the one that is raced the most, the one that is the quickest out of everything in terms of aftermarket? Guys, we're talking aftermarket. I work in the aftermarket. I don't give two shits about stock Mustangs. Why the hell do we give a shit about a Mach 1 if it's not going to be any better, like a whole lot better? It's got a GT350 trans. Big fucking deal. The good thing is, I said, let me hit up Ben Calamer. Even though he's on vacation, I said, Ben, tell me about the 3160. I think it's called the 3160 transmission. He goes, yeah, it's good NA. It's good NA. But one look at it and it's fragile. Just look at it. Would you just look at it? It's fragile. And I said, yeah, it doesn't look so robust to me. Why is everyone kind of going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God? He goes, I don't know. Because every single GT350 that you put boost blows the transmission to smithereens. It just fuck. It blows it to smithereens. And a lot of people are like, no, they don't. Yeah, they do. Naturally aspirated, the GT350 transmission is fine in NA form, and it loves RPM, and it'll do really well. The shafts are hollow. The gears are tiny. It is nothing special. I would still rather have an MT82. Oh, but Alex, you got to understand that, it's different because... How is it different? Is this car going to stay NA? Yeah. In the world that I live in, everything gets boost or nitrous pretty much like right off the showroom floor. Now, if you're going to buy this Mach 1 and put it in a bubble and never, ever have it see the light of day, I'm sure that guy is going to be, adequate. The transmission is going to be adequate. It's not going to be a problem. Brett Burke, who hated my guts a couple of months ago. I know it's not the real Brett Burke, but I'll roll with it. He says, love you, Alex. Drink from the cup sometime soon. You can keep my hydrated. Carson Little can lick my hot dog. And because he paid for it, I am going to drink from the Southern Darlene Yolo edition cup. Got it filled up. Oh, you like that going down my throat, baby? So, I think it's just super underwhelming. I don't think this car is anything special. And the disrespect, in my opinion, that Ford just says, here's a badged up PP3 GT and I'm going to offer for $55,000. And then some idiot at the dealer is going to say, I can mark this up $15,000. And some even bigger idiot that has a lot of money is going to buy it because he wants to be the first. Watch this bitch be at a Barrett Jackson auction or a whatever auction and suck all the bitch out. Suck that long bitch out. Because at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to be anything special in terms of performance. I don't care that it is special, it is badged, it is limited edition. In the world I live in, we don't give two shits about any of those metrics. We give a shit about performance. And if it doesn't make any more horsepower than the Bullitt, but it has coolers and MagneRide, basically a PP3 Bullitt, it's not that special. Why didn't it get a TR6060? If Ford is picking shit up from the parts bin, why not pick up a TR6060? Why not throw the DCT in there, charge $65,000, charge $70,000? You really think people are not going to buy a DCT PP3 version of a GT? You don't think so? The allure of the whole GT500, the whole reason people buy it is for the trans. Like, no one gives a fuck that it's a 2650 9-to-5 or 10-to-1 compression motor. I forget exactly how much compression is in it. Do you think people go, oh, it's got a Predator, it's going to be badass? No, it's got a DCT, and the potential of the DCT when it comes to road course racing, really fast shifts, and just the tuning turns us on. It makes us go. But the Mach 1 coming in at an absolute junk, underwhelming, specced out car, it doesn't get my dick hard. It doesn't do anything. It just validates that Ford is willing to go, here's junk and you guys will love it. You know why you guys will love it? Because we got writers on the payroll that'll be like, yo, fluff this bitch up. Like, here's a fluff piece. Have you ever heard a writer talk negatively about a Mustang when it warrants it? Like the 99 Cobra, I think, was the last huge bomb where it literally wasn't making the horsepower that was advertised. And I think that's why Ford made it up with the Terminator and people were nice and quiet. But that was the only time on the 99 Cobra where people started saying this car sucks. It doesn't make shit for power and GTs are beating it. And I'm like, I don't think GTs are two valves are beating it, but Mach 1s were. And the people were like, well, what do we do? I'm sorry, Mach 1s, No, Mach 1s were after 2003, 2004. The 99 Cobra was one of those weird cars that actually got bad press. It actually got bad press. And I went, okay. So when I see all these guys that are writers and stuff, I'm sure I'm not going to gain any favor for them, but I'm just trying to quote unquote keep it real, because if you're out there and your followers sit there and go, what do you think? And then you're on the Ford payroll to talk positively about this vehicle, in my opinion, your opinion doesn't count. Your opinion doesn't count if you're on the Ford payroll to fluff up this car. Do you think Ford will ever invite someone like me to their proving grounds to test out one of the cars? No. You know why? Because I'm going to say, hey, man, if this thing sucks, I'm going to say it sucks. I don't think the invite to the track to drive one of your cars is enough payment to make me sell my soul to say this car is badass. If I say, hey, the trans is clunky and I don't like the tire selection and I don't like the understeer and da-da-da-da-da, I should have the right to say that. But I think it's too much of a risk for someone like me to be handed the keys of something that's not out there yet for fear of negative press. Almost every single new car that is out and about, have you ever noticed that? Every YouTuber that is out there is like, gets his hands on a Corvette, gets his hands on a GT500, gets his hand on the car first, and it is always positive. Like, it's never negative, meaning you love everything about the car, like every single thing. There's nothing negative. So I think it's disingenuous. So today basically is going to be a Mach 1 freeform bullshit. Some people are complaining that it doesn't have the shaker hood. Who cares? Like, really, you give a shit about a shaker hood? So if they put a shaker hood on it, is it okay? Like, is it cool to put a shit? Okay, it's, you know what? I didn't like it, but then they revised it and put a shaker hood on it. So I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna pay $60,000 for this car now that has a shaker hood. Talk about some dumb ass shit. So last week, because Carson and Kyle went apeshit, I missed a decent amount of questions, and I felt terrible about it. I felt really bad about it. So I will keep my opening monologue on the lower side, but I did want to show off some new equipment. So thank you to Kyle, Carson, and everyone else that submits, some kind of donation. I was able to upgrade and get this little soundboard, and I asked you guys on Instagram, what do you think I should put in there? So I couldn't put half of the shit that you guys wanted, but I put some of the ones that matter to me. Now, obviously, full bolt-on is going to be like the cornerstone of this live stream. When I say full bolt-on, I don't just say it. I say full bolt-on. The whole thing. I say it with fervor, So if Tony comes on the chat, I'm like, oh my God, it's Tony. Full bolt-on. And that's, instead of straining my voice, I'm going to absolutely do that. Then I wanted to add some idiocracy stuff. In idiocracy stuff, sometimes it just trickles in, and some of the favorite things that they say on idiocracy is extra big ass fries. Would you like another extra big ass fries? I love that scene when they talk about extra big ass fries, and the doctor scene where he diagnosed, I think his name was Joe, and he said, well, I think I found out what's wrong with you.
You talk like a fag, and your shit's all retarded.
So anytime someone says something really stupid, I'm going to say,
you talk like a fag, and your shit's all retarded.
Anytime you suggest to do a flex cam burble tune,
you talk like a fag, and your shit's all retarded.
Okay, and then if you want to be my friend, I think I'm going to say, well, I can't be your friend. I only tune your vehicle. And then that reminded me of the scene in Godfather when Bonacera come in and asked for a favor. And he said, you come in here and want me to kill these guys. You don't even offer my friendship. And then Bonacera says,
be my friend? Godfather?
He had to call him Godfather. Be my friend, Godfather. Also, when there's a conversation when I just want to say no, it's easy to say no. It's easy to say no. But it's much better to say, that I cannot do.
That I cannot do.
And that is Don Corleone. Vito, sorry. Is it Vito? I don't know. Corleone. Is it Don or Vito? I forget. It's some Italian name, I forget. But Mr. Corleone saying,
that I cannot do.
That I cannot do. I cannot do that. That I cannot do. So if you're offering things that I don't offer, or if you want things that I don't offer, like you want me to be your friend,
that I cannot do.
That's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Now, then the other normal saying that happens on this show is Joselito, bicho. I call everyone bicho. But I also say when someone gets that long bicho.
Fellas, you ever give a booty that long bicho? You know what I'm talking about, that long bicho, not that lazy, half a bicho.
Oh my God. And finally, when you want to turn it all the way up, you say,
nothing can stop me, my bicho is all the way up.
I could do this shit all day. Anyway, ProCharger sounds. People wanted me to do ProCharger sounds, and I couldn't find a clip of dragging cardboard. So I apologize for that. Hopefully then we can add that to what we got going on. But every show that'll change depending on what I want to talk about. But today I definitely wanted to talk about the people that were saying things like, the Mach 1 is a great vehicle. I don't see the problem.
You talk like a fag and your shit's all retarded.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Okay, I'm going to get to the paid questions and then get right over to the peasant chat and then try to keep everything tight. Last week I fucked up. I missed a lot of questions. Basically, people were just dropping $100 everywhere, and it was a good time. It was a good time. Eric has front feed balls in the house. 3-valve Eric. Holy shit. So Carson Little gave me $100. Said y'all crazy. Pragmatic Lunatic says, hey bro, what are we calling the unpaid chat now that the paid chat is a peasant chat? Exactly. From now on, if you don't drop at least $100, it's a peasant chat. Peasant chat V1, peasant chat V2. I know you owe Fat Anthony or schools money, and I don't want you to end up like Dee Dee. Remember they opened her up? That's some stank you're gonna make. Not Dee Dee. It was Sasso. Whoa, what's that smell? Sasso. I know that was Carlito telling Sasso, I'm going to buy into your club and I'm going to get half of the stuff coming in. Leave it to Beaner. Thank you very much for bringing up that scene where Carlito Brigante was trying to buy into Sasso's club. It was very good. Brett Burke said, I love you, Alex. Drink from the cup sometimes so you can keep hydrated. Carson Little can lick my hot dog. Danny Wiggs gave me $20. Said, so what's best for MT82 replacement on a 19 GT around 800 to 900? TR6060, T56 Magnum XL. Yeah. After talking to Ben Calamer most of the day, I said, what trans do you think people should go with? He's like, dude, T56 or TR6060. All day, every day. Do you know how many GT350 guys that have Whipple, Superchargers, or NA, and they just want to really get after it? What trans do they go with? Magnum XL, T56. They don't fuck around with the 3160. They're like, nah, fuck all this shit. The clutch shit, input shaft shit, they just go big. 26 spline input, clutch, Mantic or McLeod, or Exetti, if Exetti makes a clutch for that setup, and they know that trans is going to be freaking stout. And I've never had anyone tell me they had issues with a TR6060 or a T56 in that application. Danny Wiggs. 10R80 swap in the Bullitt, able to be an easy swap. Basically, this Mach 1 is going to be a 10R80 Bullitt. So why not just wait? Unless you already have a Bullitt, Peyton Pruitt. I don't think it's an easy swap per se. I think there's a lot of things that work with 10R80. I don't know anyone that's done a 10R80 swap from a manual into an auto yet. So I can't speak to that, unfortunately. Yo, Alex, just wait till Kyle comes in and gives a special case sauce. Look, I'm not looking for that. I'm not looking for a bidding war. You guys overdid it. Way overkill last week. I want to try to keep all these things on point, and I don't want it to get out of hand, but I appreciate any donation you guys give. Again, $2, I answer the question just like a $100 question. Zachary Smith says, channel support will later on YouTube. Yes, sir. Catch you later. Cayman Cider. Cayman Cider? How about 1100 horsepower 2020 GT500, though? Yes, that caught a lot of hate because a lot of people were saying that, what's so special about this GT500 that it made 1100? Big deal. I know guys that are making 900 horsepower with a stock pulley.
You talk like a fag and your shit's all retarded.
And that's what I say, because at what RPM? How do you make more boost or more power with a stock pulley? RPM. You spin that stock pulley higher. So what is better or quote unquote safer for the car? Spinning the engine slower, more boost, or wringing that fucker out to create the boost with a bigger pulley size? You tell me. It's up for debate. But that 1100 horse GT500 was, I think it was was it a DBR? DBR, I think, built it. Was it DBR? I don't want to say it was HPJ, but I think it was DBR. And they ended up just putting it together. John did his thing and, fucking made 1100 horse. That's the highest horsepower. But I think because it's a hub dyno, it reads a little higher. So I wonder what Evolution's car would make on that dyno. It'd be an interesting test. Alejandro Flores is gay. He gave me $5 and said, hey man, big fan. Would you recommend a single 76 on 3 turbo car or just go twins? Stock Gen 1, but I'll be going built motor in the next year with a turbo 400. So I have tuned 5 or 6 on 3 singles in the last month, and every single one tunes really good, and it seems to make a lot of power really quickly. I tell the guys, look man, this is a Gen 1. And they're like, well, all I want to make is about 700. I'm like, I think you're there, like at 8 or 9 PSI. I think you're there. So be careful. And then they go to the dyno and go, dude, this thing made like 720. I said, right. So be careful. Big singles like that make good power. So Alejandro Flores is gay. You can do either. I like a simple setup, but the twins are ultimately going to make more power depending on turbo size. But the single does make good power, and I can't talk badly against it. David Zaremba says, same car, same day at the track, etc. What do you think would be the difference between an auto versus a manual and a quarter mile, assuming good driver in both? In the Lund Racing group, that the support system that they have for customers only, there's a naturally aspirated manual Mustang running 11.0. Finally, someone took one to the track, launched it like a man. Luckily, the clutch has some inherent built-in slip that seems to be absolutely perfect for that vehicle because he did it on drag radials. It went 11.0 in third gear. We're going through the traps. 11.0 at a 1.6 60-foot. Guys, when it comes to naturally aspirated performance, a manual modified just like an auto is comparable if the driver is there. And he proved it. He proved it. He proved it. He proved it. So I think it's on the driver. If the manual driver is legit and the setup is proper and can get out of the hole, I think it's a driver's race. But there isn't really a driver when it comes to a 10R80. You just smash the gas. Ruslan Z said, finally got a fuel system ready for 85 with a 3.48 pulley. And gap them bitcho. Are you going to give him that long bitcho?
Fellas, you ever give a booty that long bitcho? You know what I'm talking about, that long bitcho, not that lazy, half a bitcho.
Don't give them the half a bitcho. Give them the long bitcho. JH Stang 296. I'm sorry. Blue Goose versus Leroy or Ruby. Thoughts? Blue Goose not only beats Leroy and Ruby, it donkey gaps them. Especially how it sits right now. Now, Cletus will not race the Blue Goose because, and I agree with the reasoning, it doesn't sit the same way. The Blue Goose is a 6R80 stock computer car at 3,800 pounds. Now it's going to be about 3,500. And the Leroy, it's a manual. So he's like, I want to make it apples to apples. I'm like, okay, apples to apples. So we need a 400 plus cubic inch Coyote with bigger turbos. We need a 400 plus cubic inch Coyote with bigger turbos. Come on, man. Come on. It would be hilarious if Rob Dom got his hands on wrecked Mach 1 and slapped the rotary in it. Exactly. Could you imagine? I know that somebody is putting a Barra engine in a GT350 we talked about not too long ago. And I said, that's good for the clicks, but he better bring out his pocketbook, or he better be like, hey, man, my influence can get you noticed, so give me some shit, and which I hate playing that game. So basically Ford with the Mach 1 is saying dumb stuff like Vin Diesel said in the first and Fast and Furious. Granny shifting, not double clutching like you should, in a nutshell. Pretty much. Mo Dizzle says, "Está bien chulo." Ruslan Z says hello again. David Zaremba says same car at the track. Okay, I already got there. I caught up. Timmy Anders, it must be like, what time is it over there? Funny how 18 manifold is presumed king because of some tests, but Mach 1 has a 350 manifold. That is funny. The 350 manifold makes more power, but people just don't want to I have a 350 manifold in the red car. And I know once I get a converter and get the car in the right power band, it's going to be pretty evil. So that's why I went with that manifold, because all of the testing we've done, every single car we've done, shows that the 350 manifold is better than the 18, and the Cobra Jet in max effort applications is better than all three. But thanks for those questions, David Jaffrey, Mo Schaefer, and Timmy Anders. Brian Morales says, Blue Goose, I already got that. Would be hilarious if Rob Dom got on the wreck Mach 1 and slapped a rotary in it. Alex Marquez says, Alex, support. I got your 150 E85 no nitrous log sent to you. Hopefully we can figure out why Peg's so rich. Yeah, it was weird. I think it's jetting, honestly, or I don't know. If it's a no nitrous log and it comes back and it is trimming good, Alex, then it's jetting. It's jetting, right? If the no nitrous watt log comes back and it is trimming 0.98 down the bitch, and then with nitrous, it's trimming 0.8, 0.7, it's jetting. The jetting is off. Orlando Chavez just gave me $10. Nobody said not hush money. That's all he said. Joe Montesino give me $10. Jay Rubin in the house said 19 V3 JT with a 312 seeing IATs of 180 at the track. Reduce boost, go air to water, upsize blower. What would you do, Alex? Jay Rubin, I would get meth. I would get meth injection at that point for cooling and then relocate the IAT to the manifold so that the computer sees some actual temperature drop at the manifold, and then the car's happy. I'd rather do meth than do air to water right now. I'd rather do meth. See if it can cool down those air temp chargers. Why are boosted flex tunes common on LS and not available from Lund? Because they're not. Are there boosted? Bring your wood screws. Show me any boosted Ford with flex fuel. Bring your wood screws. Show me any boosted flex fuel Ford vehicles. Carson Little, give me another $100. The reason we don't do it, this is why. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you have a 2.4 pulley GT500, 14 GT500 TVS, makes about 2.0 air load. You know, MU52s. Sorry, let's say ID1000. BAP, enough to run E85. And then on E85, right? Let's say on E85, you can see about 21 degrees of spark. 21 degrees of spark, okay? And then with the flex fuel, the way it works is the less ethanol content, because Chevys have logic for flex fuel sensors. It has logic for flex fuel sensors. Ford does not. Ford uses the wide bands to sample the alcohol and the burned and the exhaust gases and go, well, we think it's about this much ethanol. Now, naturally, aspirated vehicles have a thing called a cap, meaning you're not going to make any more air load than 1.0, 102, 103. With boosted vehicles, the problem is you motherfuckers pulley down. I want more boost. Well, you're running E50. Oh, I want more boost. So now if it was even possible, the problem is you guys do some dumb shit like run 93 octane with a pulley that's meant for E85, and then anywhere in between becomes sort of like a gray area because now the car has to go, wait a minute, you can see 21 degrees with this much ethanol, but then you went, I want a smaller pulley. Actually, I want to put it 10% lower with a flex fuel sensor in it. And it's going to go, well, now we have to change the cap, or now we have to completely adjust every single little, it is not, there isn't a table for flex fuel and spark in any Ford Logic that I've seen. I believe Chevy does have flex fuel logic. So they piggyback off of that on boosted applications, but they use a flex fuel sensor, whereas Ford uses, what the hell, John? Where do you, John, I should be giving you money. What is, stop it. So I think the flex fuel logic with a flex fuel sensor is there on Chevy and it is not on Ford. And I think the same reason Ford doesn't do it is the same reason Ford doesn't do flex fuel on EcoBoost vehicles, flex fuel on GT500, flex fuel, Roush doesn't have flex fuel capability on Ford stuff, because I just don't think the flex fuel sensor is incorporated into the logic anywhere. But again, you guys fuck with boost so much. Imagine you guys saying, well, all I'm going to see is 10 PSI on E55. But can I get away with 12 PSI on E55? 14 PSI on E55? And pow! Ringland, fucking pistons gone. And then Paul Monaco wants to join into the freaking contest. Everyone's just dropping a C note. Look, the peasant chat has now become... I am so sorry if you are in the peasant chat and are asking questions, because it is going to be quite impossible. Actually, I'm caught up on the baller chat. The baller chat's pretty caught up. Let me just get this out of the way. But anyway, that's why I think there is no... Oh my God. Danny Wiggs, give me another $100. This is so stupid. So I think the flex fuel logic will not work on a Ford vehicle because there's no table for any flex fuel sensor to be in, analogued in, and a table to manipulate based on that stuff. Carson Little dethroned Kyle Brandon. Yeah, unless Kyle Brandon drops like $2,000 right before I leave, I think Carson Little is now my new sugar daddy. And I'm going to say, Carson, email me a clip of your voice so then I can use it somewhere in here, like full bolt on. You can be that. You can be like, hey, I'm your sugar daddy. What clutch should I go with on my 2011 PP GT500? Plans are to have her happily living at 700, 730. Oh, and drink from the cup, please. I already drank from the cup, gato, but I'll drink again because you paid $5 whole. But I think a McLeod RXT HD is probably going to be your best friend at this point. Or, in my opinion, the go-to is the Mantic. The Mantic. Jeff Gurko, Mantic clutch. I understand you guys probably go, oh, it's a little too expensive for my taste. But there's a reason. It's engineered really well. Senior has a triple disc in his, and the pedal action is phenomenal. But if you want to be a peasant, get a McLeod RXT HD. Oh, yeah. Joe Barano says, hey, Alex, I got a 2350. What does the 93 tune only do for the car, and what should I expect? Probably a more aggressive spark curve depending on how sweet the fuel is in your area. But again, we always piggyback off of the adaptive octane logic on these cars, so we're not going to shove timing down its throat. The rev limiter is going to be raised slightly. Throttle sensitivity will change a little bit. Throttle mapping, not mapping, but throttle feel based on just idle smoothness and a couple other things that we do in the tune. But basically, it's going to make a little more power, open up your rev limiters, and, you know, just kind of general stuff. But if you're on E85 or Flex, that's when it really opens up. We can shove more timing in it earlier, get you that torque back, and it really, really wakes up. Carson Little, again, gave me $100. I have to mention it again. Alejandro Flores is gay, says, Carson Little has dethroned Kyle Brandon. Will Chowanek, $20, said, 16 GT single, turbo, return style fuel system, supporting mods. The car has a lean spec at 2,500 RPMs under watt. Any ideas? Junior's been trying to... Okay. Will, if you're working with Junior, go with whatever Junior says. Junior has 20 times more experience than I do, and I never want to second guess a coworker. He knows about these cars in and out way more than I do. The files I use, he built. So if he's having trouble, then I honestly don't think if he can't quote unquote figure it out, it might be mechanical. Meaning, you got to make sure there's fuel on the tank. You got to make sure there's no fucking Hobbs switch. If there's a Hobbs switch, throw that fucking thing in the garbage and run 2 pumps constant. That's what I would do. But if you're working with Junior, man, keep chugging at it with him. He will be best to kind of let you know what to do. But in my opinion, if you're not running 2 pumps constant, and if you have a Hobbs, get rid of the Hobbs. And have a full tank of gas. None of this half tank shit. Full tank of gas when you're logging for Junior. Cuban Coyote says, car coming along nicely. What do you think of the run in the quarter? I'm shooting for 9.5 before my trans goes out. Woof. 800 horse, 880, 890 at your weight with a manual's not going to run that number. I love you, Cuban. You're going to be like a 10.0 or 990 car because your 60 foot is going to be so difficult to get in the 1.6, 1.5 range. So if you can 60 foot, 1.5, 1.4, and you can shift at 1700 and hit your shifts on the fucking money, it'll be like a 980, 990 car, in my opinion, based on the weight. David Jaffrey says, Alex out here looking like Joe Rogan's lost Hispanic cousin, Jose Garcia. Channel support, Yocuache Nation. That's what I got to do. I got to get Mexican music on this thing. But today I wanted to start with, the stuff that's going on here. John Lund gave me $100. I don't know why the hell he did that. But thank you, John Lund. Thanks for being in the chat and answering questions, because I'm sure the peasant chat is lit with people just asking you questions. Hey, Alex, love the new sounds. Also, Cook Shorty's all right. NA, stay stock. I'm in Jersey and strict here with emissions, so long tube's kind of out. Why not just do free-flowing exhaust? Meaning do not do a Shorty header. Just keep the stock manifolds and then do a free-flowing exhaust mid-pipe that you can probably replace if it's a Gen 1 vehicle. And that's what I would do before buying, $1,500 long tube headers, which you might have to remove for emissions purposes in your state. Paul Monaco said, I want to join too. Gave me another $100. Holy shit. Oh my God, John. So John is already my sugar daddy. I mean, I work for him. I do some work. I go out in the streets. I get that work. But now he's paying me here. That's going to be a problem, because I'm going to have to just send it back. Matthew Ford said, pegging money, my friend. Good stuff, Alex. Been wondering for weeks. Bring your wood screws. There you go, brother. Hopefully that answers some of your questions, brother. Danny Wick says, senior in the Hundo Club now. And he paid me $100 to say that. Darren Ferguson says, full bolt on. Untuned auto with 5C converter. Can't log the car well on the dyno. What's the best way to log the converter properly for best results? What do you mean to log the converter? I don't know what that means, to log the converter. There is on the N gauge, there's slip. If you're using an N gauge, Darren Ferguson, on your full bolt on vehicle, it already has the generic PIDs already has torque converter PIDs being read out. So if there's something happening that you don't like, you might have to actually explain to your tuner in stupid detail as to what's happening. Hey, this is happening, and it's happening, and I'm going to video it and da-da-da-da-da. Because if in the log we see, hey, it's commanding lockup, it's unlocking when you get back on the gas and it locks up again. That's what it's supposed to do. Torque converters generally don't need any special things done to it. All they do is lock up a little firmer and stall at a higher speed getting out of the hole. That's pretty much all they do. So you don't need to tune that per se. If you want it to drive differently, that's where the tuning comes in. Got Paul Monaco. Okay, I got everybody. Paul Monaco. Didn't Paul Monaco buy my black car? Yeah, he was the one that had my black car. Mike B says, at John Lund, Mike B paid on the chat to talk to John Lund and said, John Lund, I want to lock out my phasers. Can you recommend some place to time the motor before it goes back in? Mike B and John Sr., if you can get L&M to do it, or Keith Ray at Wonder Racing, that's probably the only two people I would recommend that I know of off the top of my head that have done it for senior. They've done it for senior, so they know what they're doing. Alex, will you ever do a Yolo video again? Jose Montesino? Probably not. Probably not. I think his time came and went because Yolo would be soft right now because I have to stay employed. I have to stay employed. The amount of shit I know right now that Yolo can come up with, and I cannot hide behind he's a character guy, because people are going to say, you know how many people still call me Yolo now? I'm like, don't you guys get it? Like Denzel Washington doesn't walk down the street and they call him one of his characters. Like they don't say, oh, that's the guy from Training Day. No, they go, that's Denzel Washington who played the guy from Training Day. But with me, they go, there's Yolo. And I'm like, boy, you guys are fucking retarded. Like you're absolutely retarded.
You talk like a fag and your shit's all retarded.
Pretty much. That's kind of how it goes. So John Lund gave me more money. I saw that. He gave me $100 more bucks. Thanks for your knowledge that spread the patience with the late bloomers. David Martin, $5. Thanks for your knowledge that spread and patience with the late bloomers. I'm very happy to accommodate and let people, let people learn as much as I know. I don't know everything, but I have an ability to answer questions quickly and get right to the point. So at least you go, oh, because that's how it needs to be explained to me. When I was going to high school and the teacher would explain something, I'm like, what the fuck? How the fuck do you, like, imagine explaining Common Core math to a kid right now. Imagine explaining Common Core math to me when I learned it the old way, meaning the proper way. I'd be like, no, this is fucking retarded. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm going to say no. I'm just going to say no. That I cannot do.
That I cannot do.
I love how he says it. He's sitting back in his chair with his cat, and he's like,
that I cannot do.
I cannot do. I cannot do that. Bandy says, that one on E85 pump near me is testing on the money so far. Do you think it's feasible to have to separate 93 octane and tune appropriate pulley for occasional long trips when there's no E85 around? You could stay on basic bitch boost, Bandy. Meaning, if on pump gas you're making 650, that same pulley on E85 can make, 700, depending on how much timing it's taking and how sweet the fuel is. So you don't have to change the pulley. But if you want to be like, I want to go max F for E85, well, you got to switch a pulley. That's kind of the game you're going to have to play, Bandy. David Jaffrey says, what's the most Boston thing you've heard while living in Massachusetts? Ooh. So the way Bostonians say cocksucker is so special. They don't say, hey, stop being a cocksucker. They say quacksucker. They say quack, Coacksucka. Quacksucker. That guy's a quacksucker. Every single time I hear that, I go, ooh, that guy's, I know. And you can almost tell when they're from the North Shore or South Shore, depending. A lot of people say Quincy. They don't say Quincy, like Massachusetts, Quincy. They go Quincy. I'm from Quincy. I'm like, okay, you're from there. You're from that South area. And if you're from like, I forget, Rockledge or some shit like that, or Peabody, you just talk totally different. But quacksucker is the word that makes me recognize you're from Boston. Aside from the N-word, because guys, it has now come out because of everything that's happening with Black Lives Matter and everything. Baseball players are speaking out against Boston. And they're like, yeah, I never wanted to play in Boston. They said the N-word nonstop. And I'm like, oh, I believe that. Absolutely, I believe that. I worked in Boston for 10 years. I didn't live there. Fuck no, couldn't catch me dead in that motherfucker. That's when people go, Boston's so nice. I'm like, Boston is pretty. People aren't so pretty. I mean, look, I love the dryness and the family, but I'm a minority. So when I hear the talk, I go, it can happen at any moment. And when they feel real comfortable around you, people that get a little blasé and there's like blurt shit out and you're like, yeah, I know it. Yeah, I know you piece of shit. That's why I don't have any friends, because everyone's a piece of shit. You know how many friends I've dumped that just talk that dumb shit? I'm just like, nope, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're okay. Will you ever have any coworkers as guests on your live feed? Ruslan Z, only when I'm up there, and I guess Pennsylvania is like shutting down again. What the fuck is wrong with Pennsylvania? Oh, we opened up and we decided that's stupid. So we're gonna go ahead and just shut it down. Shut it down again. Fuck it. Fuck it. Could you imagine? Mechanical Thor says, I'm backing Senior in this Rumble, brother. Holy shit. Stop it. I mean, don't stop it, but stop it. Wade Grove says, Paxton, T56 Magnum, Gen 2, S197, ported heads, L&M cams, Gen 2 exhaust cams, ported boss, LTHs, 3 5-pulley E85, what kind of power? All you needed to say after all that bullshit, Wade Grove, 3 5-pulley E85. That's all you needed to say. That's all you needed to fucking say. And I would say low 800s, high, actually 3 5-pulley, 750, 740, 750. 740, 750. All you need to say was E85, Coyote, manual, 3.5 pulley. All that other shit could have been, who gives a shit about the ported? Oh shit, god damn it, you do have cams. God damn it. Oh, you fucked me up. Oh, god damn it. So a cammed Coyote, E85 and a 3.6 pulley. 760, 770 tops. Rambler 50 says, I'm running a Vortec V3 kit and Vortex can tune on the manual on the manual 16. Is it worth to get an aftermarket tune for performance and drivability? It all depends. Look, if you like how the car drives, Rambler, right out. If you want aftermarket support and the ability to grow with your calibration, hit us up. Mechanical Authority got his thing in. He goes, I wish my boss gave me free money. El Coyote. It ain't free. Because you got to understand, right? John Lund Sr. is a very smart guy. He's not stupid, right? He knows that this show is basically, I am repping the brand, okay? Wherever I go, people know that I work for Lund Racing. So if he's like, hey, man, I appreciate doing that for us, no problem. He knows the deal. He look out for me. I look out for him. I scratch your back. You scratch my back. Because he's actually my friend.
Be my friend?
Godfather.
Godfather.
The delay is so wonderful. El Coyote already said that. He goes, David Jeffrey says, the stream now feeling like great pachanga. Like a great pachanga. Oye, tú eres una chiva? Fuck you. What you looking at? Fuck you, man. It wasn't even turned on, Carlito. It wasn't even turned on.
It wasn't even turned on. It's something else, man.
It's not. I was going to give you a signal, man. It's not, man. Come on. I don't do nothing. Shit in diapers.
I got fucking diapers. I shit my pants every day. I can't walk. I can't hump.
You know? Oh, love it. Chicks with OnlyFans accounts wish they could pull this kind of cash at night. Ha ha ha. Rodo 12. F-150, S550 in the house. Hey, bitcho. How you doing, bitcho? That long bitcho. Bitcho's all the way up.
Nothing can stop me. My bitcho is all the way up.
He said, hey, bitch, on a Gen 2 Forge internal Whipple, I have a 6AN line fuel system. I want 1,000 horsepower. Can I run a separate 6 line to the other fuel rail? Oh, wow. Wait a minute. So you want 2 to 2 rails? So how does it come back? At the regulator? Like, so what? So this is what usually, what the fuck? Wait a minute. So you want 2 lines. So you want 2 lines coming from the pumps and deadheading at the rail. So are you going to regulate it? Are you going to get 2 regulators? Are you going to Y the line to the, I'm lost. Why not just run the line to the regulator and from the regulator run, and make a return deal there? John Lund, stop it. You know what? We must have had a good month because that guy's just dropping C notes saying, fuck Kyle, fuck Carson, John Lund is daddy. I am your friend. We're going green up here. Don't worry. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, bro. Once I get up there, I'm gonna bring some some light. I'm gonna bring some of this sunshine back up there. But don't worry, John. I'll be up there real soon. Hell, I might just buy a car and drive up there if you keep giving me all this money. Fuck a plane. But anyway, I think F-150 S550, the way to do it is just run it conventional. Don't overthink things. But I would upgrade the line to Dash 8 unless you already have Dash 6. 1,000 horsepower, you're asking a lot about those lines. It might be okay, but I'd rather do Dash 8, in my opinion. But if you have Dash 6, run it to the regulator, and from the regulator, run it to the rail and have it return back. You can have it come up, return back from the basically. What I don't like about cycling fuel around the motor is the chance for it getting hot. A lot of people have true return setups, and which is fine. I think it's fine. But if you're running 2 pumps constant and you're in bumper-to-bumper traffic and you're on E85, it's not that big of a deal, but on pump gas, again, you're not going to run a return style fuel system on pump gas. I am just talking. I'm just spitballing. I'd rather return it at the regulator, but a lot of people disagree with that, and I understand that. They want to do a true return setup. I'm not against that. I personally would just return it at the regulator. I don't know if that answers your question at all, because you're running two lines with each pump going to one side of the rail. How does it return? He goes, they return together on the other end with 525 LPH fuel pumps. I'm like, honestly, I think you're overthinking this one and just run it the conventional setup on. I understand you want to be different and want to be outside of the box, but that just sounds like it's not conventional to me. It just doesn't make sense. I'd have to actually draw it out on a board and go, is this retarded? Is this retarded? Oh, man. Wanda Racing in the house has support just for you being you. Thank you, Keith Ray. Don't worry. Hopefully I'll be getting a 5.2 sent up there real soon. Peyton Pruitt says, did you hear Hellion is working on a carb legal twin turbo setup with cats? Rumor has it with catalytic converters, it'll make almost 150 horsepower more than some blower setups on the same amount of boost. Thoughts? I don't like emissions equipment and boost, but I understand they want to be carb legal and get an EO. That makes it desirable. So at 12 PSI, yes, it's going to make a lot more power than a blower at 12 PSI if it's twin turbos. You got 2 turbos and it's a super efficient setup. So if you have a TVS at 12 PSI making whatever, and then you have twin turbo with cats making 12 PSI, the twin turbo with cats is going to make a lot more power than a TVS at 12 PSI. Jesus Christ. J Card says, Alex, several years ago, my dad's Hellcat spit the cats out on the dyno at Shelby Fest. Free flowing exhaust was my first mod after seeing that and your video. Thanks. Awesome. Yes, that was when I was at VMP. Joe was on the dyno, went what? And it spit out the cats and went, Bleh! Get the fuck out of here. Carson Little says, hi, John. Thanks for the tunes, and gave me $100 to comment on that. What the fuck is happening? David Zaremba says, you mentioned idle problems hunting not being tune related, ProCharger. Where can I start looking to fix the problem without bothering my tuner? Because I thought it was the tune related until you spoke. So it all depends on what idle problems you're having and who's tuning you. I personally don't know of any idle issues on Lund tunes with a ProCharger. ProCharger, Vortec, and ProCharger, Vortec, and Paxton pretty much get the same tune except a different MAF curve, and obviously depending on how ProCharger sees the MAF, if it's on a square intercooler, which is so stupid, but they've gotten smart and provided tubes to be able to put the MAF sensor in a round hole. That's the wise way to do it. That usually doesn't cause idle issues. The only idle issues, if any, I've seen on a ProCharger is when they use the square intercooler setup, which is 90% of their calibration. 90% of their kits have a square intercooler, which is their MAF. When it goes MAF and tube, it's money. Max De Oliveira says, use the beginning part of the song called Una Ka by Bo Boundy or Bobundi and Chingo Bling. It's perfect for the taquaches. Confine says, can't stay because of trucker. Not dropping the C note either. 11 to 12 GT500, 13 to 14 GT500, a 15 to 17 Hellcat, 9-second daily is the goal. 13 to 14 auto swapped GT500. That's if you want a 9-second daily, 13 to 14 auto swapped GT500. 6R80 I've seen it done so many times at Power by the Hour where they go 10-1 on basic bitch and then 9 way into the 9s with a little E85 or pump gas and Torco. That's the way to do it in my opinion. Will Chowinik says, I wasn't trying to disrespect Junior, quite the opposite. He's been extremely helpful trying to diagnose the lean spike. Just hoping you had some idea to throw around. No hop switch, second pump, constant. So is your pump in the hat actually in the hat and it is placed in there nicely? I had a guy that had a similar issue and the pump was loosey-goosey in there and it was actually pumping fuel back into the tank, meaning it wasn't a nice firm deal. And then once pressure caught up, it was still leaking out, but less. All right. So once pressure equalized in the lines, it wasn't spitting it out in the tank back anymore. So I would honestly take the hat out and pressure test that situation and see if you find something there. Will Chowinik. I got Wonder Racing. Okay. David Martin says, gosh dang, you're killing it. I'm just talking and people are just paying. The Blue Life says, just got my engage from LMR.com with LU47's PMAS intake and IMRC delete today. Hopefully to receive the tune soon and get everything installed this Friday. By the way, here's my peasant money. El Coyote's like, where the hell's Kyle Brandon? Where you at, bro? I think Kyle Brandon is seeing all these not nut swingers. They're swinging their dicks, really. They're just swinging their dicks in the chat and they're like, boom, here's $100 just to say hello to Alex. And I'm like, dude, fuck, you're psycho. But I appreciate it. Full supporting mods for a 15 automatic VMP Stage 2 kit for a daily driver, but still getting max power to the wheel. What the fuck is going on here? What the fuck is going on? You want a race car daily driver? Look, choose one. Choose one. Because you want max effort, max power to the wheel, and daily drive it. You're going to wear out parts early. What do you want, a 69 upper, a 20% lower, and have it drive like stock everywhere you go on E85 and get 15 to 17 miles a gallon? No, that's fucking stupid. It's not going to happen. That I cannot do.
That I cannot do.
I cannot recommend any of that stuff.
That I cannot do.
I really think you should just choose one, racing or daily driver duties, not both. You cannot have the best of both worlds. I'm sorry. You can have a 700 horsepower car that drives really good. You can have a maybe high 700 horsepower, low 800 that drives really good. But you're saying max power, meaning like 800, 900 plus, and have it be daily drivable? That's just really, really stupid thinking. Love you, but I cannot recommend anything for that setup. You're either racing it or you're driving it every fucking day. Plain and simple. Why do you want max power when you're going to Dunkin' Donuts? Why do you want a 69 upper and a 20 lower on a Gen 3R to get coffee? That make no fucking sense. Love you. That's just fucking, I hate that thought process. I want the best drivable. You guys want the best drivable tune, best drivability, and best fuel economy? Stock tune. Stock tune. That's it. I want the best drivability, the best fuel, stock tune. The way you picked it up from Ford. It ain't never going to drive no better. But I want power. Cool. Stock tune. I want drivability. I want the best drivability possible. Stock tune. But I want to make 1,000 and I want to be able to drive it anywhere. Okay, so shit's going to wear out faster because you're going to fucking wear it out faster. The parts are all going to be aftermarket. So the quality of the part is probably not going to be as good as OEM. It's not going to last as long. And you're going to be like, what happened? I'm making 1,300 with cams and it's shaking at the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot and your catch cans fall off and your balancer fucking walks off and your crank fucking drops down on the bitch and walks off by itself. If you wanted all the power to be able to fucking chop and idle at Dunkin' Donuts, that's what happens. Stop it. Stop it. Stop with the silliness, people. You're looking stupid. Vinny Vici says, channel support, thumbs up, love it. John Lund gave me more money and said, I'm your friend. We're going green up here. I said that before. Carson Little and Kyle Brandon have left the chat. El Coyote says. Eric Vega says, where the fuck are you, Eric? Sorry, I missed this last week. Pero coño, all the ballers. Do you recommend on a ProCharger kit to keep the airbox and MAF there or a MAF IAT in the cooler? Eric Vega, if you're going to get a ProCharger, try to get the ProCharger that has the MAF in the tube. I believe they sell a MAF in tube option, and for drivability, idle quality, and just tuning, makes life a lot easier, brother. Yo, Coochie Stank, Hurricane Logan says, what do you think is the capability who do you think has the capability to build a fast car? Trump, Biden, or Jorgensen? Only one of them is a successful business person. Only one of them is a successful business person. Fernando Araiza. David Jaffrey says, oh my God, what's happening? Hold on. There we go. I was making sure that no one was in emergency because the phone was buzzing between my legs and I almost had an orgasm. And I was like, I got to look at this. David Jeffrey, Alex out here looking like the ghetto version of Dr. Phil with a goatee instead of a mustache named Dr. Flo. He's got good ones. You're just fucking jealous. Cause look at this. I'm fucking pretty. Anyone else giving you money just to say hi to them? David Jeffrey. Jcard1 says, several years ago, my Hellcat, okay, this is the one where he said he spit out the cats on the dyno. And after seeing the video, that was when Joe was on a Hellcat on a dyno and it almost exploded. Carson Little already went through that, saying thanks for the tune. So John Full Auto GT says, thoughts on a single kit from On 3, 18 and 20 GT? It's fine. Full Auto GT. It's fine. It tunes fine. It makes power. It tunes fine. It makes enough power to blow your shit up. It's fine. You still good with PBH? I've not seen you there. Those dudes on the channel in a hot second. Joe Daniel. I love Jake Long from Power by the Hour. I love Frank Perdomo. They hired a new employee there that I recommended, and hopefully he makes it out there. I have no issue with Power by the Hour. Joe Daniel. El Coyote says, where the hell is Kyle Brandon? Where you at, bro? What horsepower level should a slipper clutch be considered? Honestly, like 700 or 800. In my opinion, it's very difficult to, again, listen to my fucking words. It is very difficult to consistently launch a car with a slick and a bitey clutch at anything above 800 wheel or 700 wheel. It's really tough to do it consistently. Now, I was lucky that the black car was a 730 wheel car, and it was like 1.4, 141, 140. I was like, I'm happy with that. And it was a 10.1 car, 10.1 car, 10.3, 10.2. It was always consistent. But once you get to the 800 range, shit starts breaking. And that's when you got to consider a fuse. And sometimes a slick is not enough of a fuse. So sometimes you got to say, well, where do I want the slipping to happen? Do I want the slipping to happen at the slick? Because you risk the chance of overpowering the slick if the suspension is not on point, or do you want to do it in the clutch? And that's where money and tuning comes in. You have to tune a slipper clutch. You have to buy the slipper clutch. You have to know how to manipulate the slipper clutch. So where is your fuse going to be? The tire or the clutch? People like all the really fast stick guys with T56s, their fuse is the clutch. That is the clutch. They tune the clutch. And they have a drag radial out back. Came in cider. James Trost says, if anyone has or knows someone looking to sell a Kona Blue or Gray Silver Gen 1, DM me at james.trost. I'm tired of looking every day. That's a good way of getting it. Party Lamarty. Party El Marty? First time I've been able to catch you live. Check your inbox for IG messages from me. Party El Marty. I sent you a meme that you will love. Party El Marty. Today, based on the Mach 1 stuff, I've gotten over 1,500 messages. I cannot go through them all. I'm sorry. If it's in the requests, I'll do my best to find you, brother. Mike Caparelli says, here's your regular Canadian $20. Thanks for everyone else for making me look like a Shelby owner. Karios Chen gave me $50 fucking dollars. What are you guys doing? 16 GT Whipple 3.6 PBH fully built 6R80. I have a 258mm converter, E85 780 wheel. Recently, the car has an EVAP small leak and at Watt AFR at 0.7 with a misfire. Lancet, the log trimming rich. Still rich sometimes after revision. I checked my E85 and it's very good. Spark plugs only used 1 month. Any ideas? Bad coil. Kairos Chen, when it comes to a misfire, that's something you're going to have to diagnose. And this is where I would start. Spark plugs, right? And the problem is spark plugs is what? $80 or 60 something dollars. But let's start with spark plugs to make sure there isn't an issue. Then you got to work your way up. What can cause fueling issues? Injectors. So you might have to send the injectors out and get them clean and flowed. You might have to get new plugs and new coils. You do not want to play Russian roulette with that kind of power. You want to make sure everything's legit. And if there's a misfire happening, we have to look into what causes things to potentially misfire. Injector, coil, or injector coil or spark plugs. So just a process of elimination there. Kairos Chen. Michael Mancini says, take my money. I will take your money. Thank you very much. Kona Blue Balls Coyote says, only half bitcho support here. Only the half bitcho. Brian Geisler says, sorry, Dean Simmons says, TVS versus centrifugal. Stock 17 manual with 373. Leaning towards TVS for fun, low and torque. How do you like the Vortec on the street? The Vortec on the streets is fun. The pull never stops. That's the fun thing about centrifugals. The pull never stops. The even more fun thing about TVSs is the low end grunt, like, holy shit, you know? But then therein lies an issue with grip. If you have the grip and you're not making a ton of power, I think the TVS is more fun because you can just get out of a corner and goose the gas and you're good to go. When it comes to top end and roll racing shit, it's hard to beat a centrifugal. Boost for boost. Brian Geisler says, hey, Alex, I got a Boss 302 with 900 wheel and Ignite E90. I got a ProCharger D1X, but I'm worried about the crank. Should I wait for MFP crank support or go 3 single twins for a long-term power at this level? Brian, if you can swing it, I do turbos. I love MFP and I love Superchargers. I'm a Supercharger fan. But if you are starting to worry about putting stress on the crank, turbos are the way to go, right? Because what are you stressing on a turbo? The rods and the crank in another spot, not the front, but like everywhere else. So, but if you want to make more power at less boost, it's kind of hard to go against turbos. But you have a Boss 302 and you're considering a on 3 single or on 3 twins, something made in China. I should have put that in the thing. I should have put the China one here, but the one, I had one more slot left and I used this. Where is it?
What I do is just like, you know, you know what I mean? Like,
hey, what do you think about, what do you think about all this crazy stuff that's happening in the world? And then someone that never watches the news is
what I do is just like,
yeah.
you know, you know what I mean? Like,
that's what I think of every person that tells me they're 420 friendly. What conversations are like when you're talking to each other. You know, if God made us in his image, who made God?
What I do is just like, you know, you know what I mean? Like,
David Jaffrey is saying you missed my question. And now you're going to make me scroll up and miss 7 other questions instead of re-asking the question. I love you. I know the paid chat is a little silly right now, but now I'm scrolling up. Here you go. The stream now feeling like a great pachanga. I said that already, David Jaffrey. I can't believe I went back for that. I didn't see anything else. Let me see. Did you say anything else? Because it looks like that's the end. Here we go. About my question from last week regarding which specialty Mustang you thought was truly badass. But my rephrase was, which one do you think was badass in the S197 S550 Gen? So what is the most badass 11 through 17 Mustang ever made? Well, let's talk. What do we consider badass? Upgradability or out of the showroom floor? Out of the showroom floor, how it came. What was the most badass car that came out? 11 to 17. Hard to beat the Roush RS3, right? It's hard to beat the Roush RS3. 630 wheel, 630 wheel. S550, great handling. No, the motor can take 800. It's already got a badass Gen 2 supercharger in it. So the Roush 15 to 17 Roush RS3 is probably more badass than the Shelby 1314 GT500. Why? What did a stock 1314 GT500 run? 1170, 1160? A 6R80 Roush RS3 has gone 1130, 1120. I saw when I was at Roush, they showed me video of a stock calibrated Roush with a stock Roush calibration run low 11s. Now, unfortunately, the people that bought those cars were douchebag, New Balance wearing retards, and they never took it to the track. They just kind of like, look at these stickers, badass shit. But they never actually tested what the car could actually run in in full song, meaning let's go out at the track and see what it does. And I like how the Roush RS3 looks. I just like everything about the Roush RS3. I'm trying to think of what S197 was like supremely badass that was offered by Ford, meaning you didn't have to mod it or anything like that. And I can't think of any, I know that Celine came out with Kenny Bell's supercharged version of the Trinity fucking GT500. I'm like, well, that's stupid. Yeah, I think it would have to be the Roush RS3, honestly. Okay, so. But David Jaffrey, I think that's the end. Okay. Will Firth says, thoughts and recommendations on a catch can or breathers for a Paxton setup. Also, I know you hate these questions, but horsepower estimate on an 18 10R with a Paxton 22 and a 3.6 pulley E85. So 10R, E85, and so 3.6 pulley E85, about 20 degrees. I want to say like 7. Shit, it's probably going to make mid to high 7s. Mid to high 700. And it should be like a 1040 car, 1030 car, if you can get out of the hole pretty well. Maybe a 990 because 14 PSI Edelbrocks are going 10.099. So if you can get out of the hole with that Paxton and that 10R on 3.6 pulley E85, it should be a 10.1, 10.2, I'd say. Dean Simmons says, I drove a friend's 16 RS3 727, and that's why I'm in love with the low-end torque and leaning towards the TVS over the Century. Haha. Exactly, Dean Simmons. It is really tough to negate or to overlook. If you've ever driven a from the factory with Cat's box stock RS3 Mustang, drive it. Pleasantly surprised. You're going to say, this fucker rolls out. And it handles good with the Roush springs. Got the nice Roush rubber, Roush wheels, the Veritune adjustable exhaust. It is a badass vehicle. Oh my God, Jeff Witch, Jesus Christ. He said, hope my adult dollar can buy the Lund Crew lunch. Super happy with your tune. Going to put the 3.3 pulley on soon and shoot for that 9. Yes, Jeff. I think there was a guy I want to know what the stock converter, which is a stupid record, right? The stock converter Century record is. Because I had a guy run 10.1. And I was like, whoa, that's fucking quick. So what is the stock converter centrifugal record? 10R or 6R? Don't care. What is the stock converter centrifugal record? That'd be interesting. Carson Little said, damn it, senior. And gave me another $100. So by the way, this chat surpassed last week's chat. It's like it just blew it out of the water. Can an 18 cold air intake be modified to fit on an S197? I'm not sure. I'm not sure that the mounting is similar. I mean, anything can be made to fit anywhere. You can just have maybe the box just kind of hanging there and the snorkel is just sucking in engine bay air. But where there's a will, there's a way. I mean, if you got a 20-inch bitch, and you got a thing that's a little one, you're going to be like, I'm going to make it fit somehow. Same theory. Totally same theory. Oh my God. UPR catch can for Vortec and Paxton kit. Exactly. S550 Vic. Exactly. So if you want a catch can recommendation, I'm a UPR guy. UPR's sales like totally switched from like Fox body suspension stuff to catch cans. And they make catch cans for everything. Jeeps, Cherokees, Trackhawks, Hellcats, Demons, Chargers, Challengers. They make catch cans for everything. Race setups, street setups, plug and play. So hit up UPR if you need a catch can for your Coyote. Just call them up. Be like, yo, Alex sent me here, and what kind of catch can do you recommend for my Paxton-equipped S550? Boom, and they go from there. John Lund says, Alex is buying lunch soon. You damn Skippy. I got to send everyone up there is going to get $100. Everyone up there is going to get $100. So I'll reach out probably tomorrow or the day after, and I'm going to get everyone's PayPal at Lund Racing, and I will send everyone there $100. So that is Tyler, Nardi, Junior, Dakota, Brandon. Now, if Senior and Cheryl want $100 too, I doubt they're going to accept it. But I'm thinking I'm going to give the guys, the workers, $100 each so they can treat themselves and their wives to a nice little dinner. Because that's what I'm all about, bitch. Hey, yo, I got Matt 760 on the cam tune. Get out of here, 5-0 Shirley. Is that the one where I gave you the torque reduction deal? That's cool because you were talking about it. You're like, what the fuck? What's happening, Alex? And I'm like, try this tune. And he's like, hey, it worked. And you know what? I didn't do shit special. I just said, here. And maybe you just had better conditions. But there was one tune that had no torque reduction on shifts. Again, if you get that tune, it's just not going to drive well. But at wide open throttle, it's going to shift pretty good. But yeah, congratulations, 5-0 Shirley. Did you get that on camera? Because apparently Matt don't lose to nobody. Joe Daniel says, we need a total on the money, thinking 1,000? Bro, you're thinking 1,000? You're thinking 1,000. Right here. Yeah, it got...
I got fucking diapers. I shit my pants every day. I can't walk. I can't hump.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
Apparently that did it by itself. Oh, you know what it does? When it switches scenes. When it switches scenes, it auto plays. So I got to be careful switching scenes. I got to do that in the settings. I'm the stock converter 10-1-137. Guys, I got a guy with a stock converter, Paxton, running 10-1 at 137. Does anyone else have a centrifugal running 10, low 10s on a stock converter? Please tell me. But yeah, you got your total on there. Joe Daniel. So back to the peasant chat. Holy shit, I'm at the peasant chat. Triple Threat Outdoor says, yeah, lots of donations today, bitch. Yeah, we've eclipsed last week's total by a ton. I really appreciate it. I'm not, again, I tell you, I answer $2 questions just like $100 questions. Obviously, people are here swinging their dicks, and I really appreciate it. But I'm going to make sure that I pass it all around to the guys at Lund Racing, because without Lund Racing, I wouldn't even be here. Let's be honest. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be able to talk all the information that I talk based and the knowledge that I gather working for Lund Racing. I spew it out to you guys, and hopefully this helps everybody. But I'm make sure I'll send everyone $100 up there and get them taken care of for the weekend. I went 9.6 with a YSI-B and a 3C. Stock converter, please. Stock converter. I need to know. Stock converter, auto, centrifugal. Tell me who's the man. Treevalve Eric has front feet balls and says 5-0 Shirley's full of shit. Jonathan Betancourt says 9.8s on a P1X, stock everything. That's badass, Jonathan Betancourt. That's very badass. Mike G says ran low 10s in my Paxton and an MT82. I can't drive. That's pretty good. That's really good, actually. Ford Racing's 312 says still no Kyle. Arturo Hermosillo says I'm late, and Hermosillo means he's really pretty. Sausage Fest, Dustin Engler says, very socialist of you. I got to spread the wealth. 14. So John Lund hopped up on the laptop and just dropped $200. Okay, I'm sorry, Kyle Brandon and Carson Little. The new daddy of Talking Shit Tuesday is John Lund. Welcome, daddy. Welcome. What the fuck? You want to talk about dropping balls? Okay, you guys got to understand. Okay, Kyle, Carson, everyone, nobody is going to outbid Senior, right? Because as a point of pride, the guy will probably dump his 401k on this chat. So I need to say, John, don't do that, because now you're looking like a bully. You're looking like a bully. But trust me, this money's going to make its way back up north. I'm like, here you go, guys. Here's money. I feel terrible. I mean, I love it, but, you know, what are you going to do? But he's just dropping his balls on everyone's face. John Senior's dropping balls on this chat like Ford took a shit in your Cheetos this morning. Not even pissed on it. They shit on it and said, welcome the Mach 1 to the stable of Mustangs. The most underwhelming 480 horsepower sack of shit. And then they squeezed their cheeks right at the end and went, and we're not going to put a shaker hood on it. What a toilet. Smoke Magnetic GT says, yes, he did have a stock converter. He ran a 995 and 141 with a stock converter. Vortec gets there a lot faster. Believe it or not, Smoke Magnetic, you had a V7, which is the same as a Paxton 2200. But yeah, it seems to be getting it. Now, you did it in good condition. This guy's doing it dead of summer. So we'll see what he does. Hey, man, my guy, go back up there when it DA's a little better, and we'll see if we can beat Smoke Magnetic, a.k.a. I forgot your name. Josh Hubble. Josh Hubble's record. John Lund's like, wow, it does work on a laptop. Well, you have access to your like Merrill Lynch account or whatever, right? Just tie your Merrill Lynch shit to it and drop bombs. Maybe it's a dumb question, but how would I go about building a sleeper Mustang if you'd want to? David Jeffrey, mod it like normal. Mod, everything like normal, but keep the bitch looking stock. If you got wheels on it, widen the stock wheels. Make sure you get some fat rubber back there, but do not do any exterior mods. Keep the exhaust on the quiet side. If it's a ProCharger, just take it out and put something quieter in there. it's all about how it looks, right? And if it looks like a regular bitch ass Mustang, that's as sleeper as it gets, you know? So try to keep the exterior mods to a minimum. 50 Shirley says, that log where I told you not to judge me for going into neutral was against Matt 760. He has an automatic, guys, and he somehow put it in neutral. Could you imagine that? You have to just click it up once. You go, one click. He must have been like, oh, Matt 760, I'm a B Matt 760. Orale, bombs. Relax, relax, relax. Just nudge it, nudge it. Oh, can I get a manual mode tune? No, no, no. Nudge it, nudge it. It's an NA car. El Coyote gave me $2, says still no Kyle Brandon. He accepted defeat. I can't wait till I have to announce that I'm going to stay on till about 10-ish, 9:40 something. And not because I want more money, it's because I want to get as much of the peasant chat in as possible, because it looks like we slowed down a little bit on the baller chat. I want to replicate the RS3 727 package. The RS3 is overpriced at $8,000 with tax, whereas a VMP Gen 2 R kit 80mm BAP and is under 7. Thoughts? The thing is, Dean Simmons, you're right, but the RS3, the money is in the suspension, obviously the appearance package, the interior. They have really nice interior, those cars. And the later models, 17s, had the variable exhaust. Not that that's worth another $12,000, but the kit itself is not expensive. The Roush kit is actually quite cheap. I think it's like $5,900. So, do your shopping, because I think a Roush TVS is less than, in my opinion, I think it's less than $6,000 or less than $6,500 if I'm not mistaken. Oh my God, Kyle Brandon has entered the chat. Kyle Brandon, I love you. You've been a absolute staple, a cornerstone into the growth of the channel. I love you so much. But John Lund Sr. not only dropped his balls, he dropped the head of his dick on the chat, like the head of his dick and his balls. He dropped his chicken heart and his dick on the chat. Even Carson Little was like, holy shit. But Kyle Brandon, thanks for checking in. I appreciate it, brother. What the fuck is happening? Oh my God. Nickel White in the house, says manual guy checking in. Nickel White NA, 15-inch slicks, S550, fucking getting it done, beating on boosted Corvettes. I love how in that video that Nickel White put up in our group, he beats a boosted Corvette and people were like, oh, if that Corvette had grip, it would have beat you. Well, if grandma had balls, she'd be grandpa, right, motherfucker? It didn't have grip, so Nickel kicked its ass. What the fuck is wrong with you people with that dumb logic? If it had grip, it would beat you. If it had more power, it would beat him. Fucking stupid. Don't like my China kit idea? Smells like a fluid. Sell me a fluid twin kit, bitch. Brian Geisler, no, look, the On3 kits make power. The fitment isn't the best, and I think that's where you're going to struggle a little bit, but it is not the worst. Many On3 kits are being put on by everybody. So I just, it's a Boss 302, dude. It's a Boss 302. Why are you going to put an On3 kit in that shit, bitch? You got to put... It's a Boss 302. It's not a GT base model. It's a Boss 302, man. Damn, bitch. Shit. And then hit up lundracing.com for fluid kit pricing. Danny Wiggs says, missed my question. Great. Now I have to do this shit. Channel support, bitch. August Corum, El Coyote, are you? So now I got to find you. Instead of asking the question again, you said, missed my question. And now I'm fucked. And I'm going to screw everyone else over. Okay, Danny Wiggs. Do. That's what I should do. Add the Jeopardy thing here when I miss a question and scroll up. Oh, I'm fucked. I'm so fucked. Dude, I'm fucked. There you go. 297 or 266 first for T56. Car has 355s. Any experience with the faceplated gears? 297 first gear, in my opinion, with 355s. And faceplated gears are going to be noisy, but they're going to go into gear a lot quicker than regular synchro stuff. So... expect noise, downshifting crunchiness, upshifting crunchiness when you're not watt. But I suggest the 297 first gear. And thank you for the $30 total that you gave me there for saying I missed the question and the question that you asked. Hey, bitcho, I changed my winter coolant out for the summer concentrate and now my car's running weird. Any ideas? You probably have an air bubble in there somewhere and it's probably overheating. Is it overheating? Because the coolant is not going to affect how the car runs at all, DFY. F-150, S550 says at what horsepower do the FIC 1000s peg out with the 85? About 800, 850? I wouldn't go any 1000cc injector. I wouldn't go past 850 on it. Honestly, there is a nice calculator on the Injector Dynamics website that tells you put in the displacement, the RPM, the injector size, and the fuel. And it tells you exactly where it's going to run out in terms of horsepower. I'd return at the fuel regulators. I have a Shelby fuel rails and I would like to keep them, but they're -6. Damn, dude, I'm telling you, man, it sounds like you're building it cheap, which is okay. But now you want 1,000 horse out of that? You're asking a lot out of those rails, that fuel system. You're asking a lot, in my opinion. Love you, though. Mike Wolverton says, I ordered my Luntune from Whipple. I ordered my Luntune for my Whipple 16 GT tonight. I ask-hold Tyler through support@lundracing.com all day yesterday. He helped me a ton and realized I needed more stuff before I ordered the tune. Some money coming at you, Tyler. Dean Simmons says Roushite has their Phase 2 kit at $81.48 pre-tax. Dean Simmons, hit up one of their dealers. Dean Simmons, hit up one of their dealers. I guarantee they're trying to push those kits out of there. And as long as it's the Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, goddammit, the S550 kit, not the freaking Gen 3 piece of junk. Fuck the Gen 3 piece of junk. But the Gen 2 should not be that expensive. Haik Boyadan says, what's up, Alex? Checking in. On the side note, I really thought the Mach 1 was going to be basically a two-door Mach E. If anyone knows me, I would have stayed quiet if something phenomenal would have happened with the Mach 1. The problem with the Mach 1 is the hype. What do you think it's going to be? What do you think it's going to be? What do you want it to be? When everyone knows what it was. A parts bin. Ford went into the parts bin and said, fuck it. Here's a 350 manifold. Here's a 3160 trans. We got like 3,000 of those. Cold airs, you got 1,350 cold airs and 350 throttle bodies. And I guess we could throw the Magna right from the PP3 Mustang. I mean, we got a killer deal. We got it from China or some shit. Let's call it the Mach 1. Whereas if they would have said the PP2 Mustang, identical, fucking identical, right? And gone, here's a DCT and a shaker hood. And it's $65,000. Nobody would have, no fucking body would have complained. Nobody would have complained. And if they did, then I would have been like, it's a DCT. It's a $20,000 trans. It's like the most advanced tremec trans they've built yet. Nobody would have chirped. Nobody would have chirped. And if they did, I would have been on their fucking asshole. Sabino Guzman says, what's up, Alex? A lot of people telling me to take off on second gear on the 10R80 and throw it in drive. Do you recommend it if supercharged? Yes, I do, Sabino Guzman, depending on boost level. If you're on some basic bitch boost 10 PSI, probably not going to help you that much. But if you're like 14 something PSI and the bitch don't even hook in first gear, go to the line, turn off advanced track or undo the pigtail. Go to the line, put it in sport mode, stop, select shift second, take off, nudge it into drive. You don't need a tune for that. It's very easy. 5 Point Slow says, gave me $10 and said, channel support, not sure if you remember, but I emailed you last month about getting my single turbo CPR kit remote tune. We'll be in contact soon. Awesome, 5 Point Slow, but understand this. I cannot do any tuning support or tuning answering unless it's through support@lundracing.com. For those of you that email me that want, suggestions, I'm more than happy to talk. But when it comes to like, I need to talk to you about tuning. Tuning, like physically getting a tune sent to you, support@lundracing.com. That's how you do it. David Jaffer says, as Pitbull once said, que no para la fiesta, don't stop the party. I hate Pitbull. He's the worst fucking artist. I don't like his music. It's trash. It's junk. Like, have you heard Pitbull's music? Like, have you really heard the shit he says? It's nonsensical dumb shit. Hola, party, dale, shut the fuck up. And he's local, but I don't like any of his music. Probably a nice guy. Not a fan of his fucking music. 50 Shirley says, Cuban Coyote eats ass. Nice. Paid $2 and he said, Cuban Coyote eats ass. Can you mod the BCM when you get a Lund tune? No, we cannot. We do not have access to the body control module. You got to get some foreskin to modify anything in there. Michael Diaz says, yo, Alex, longtime viewer, and I have a serious question for you. I purchased a Kenny Bell 2.8 and had it for a while now, but I noticed you never advise those kits except for the 3.2. Why? Every single time Kenny Bell is mentioned here, it's like it like goes directly into the ear of the owner of Kenny Bell. Like it's like Alex said Kenny Bell, beep 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 boop, boom. What did he say? He said something not it's just like, dude, I don't recommend anything Kenny Bell under 3 liters. I don't care what they say. I don't care The market is Whipple, TVS, under 3 liters, right? Under 3 liters is Whipple fucking all day, every day, and any TVS all day, every day. Nah, once you start getting into the big boy shit, I'm saying big boy shit, you start talking about Kenny Bell. You start going 3.6, 4.2, big boy shit. But when it comes to 99.9 of the market share of the people that are out there buying superchargers, it is dominated by Whipple and TVSs, plain and simple, and centrifugals. Look, I am making a direct plea. Okay. Vortex superchargers. I need a price because I'm willing to buy it for a direct mounted centrifugal, like some V30 ass shit for a Coyote swapped Fairmount or for a Fox body. I need a quote for the drive, the head unit, whatever the fuck else I might need. It's probably going to cost me like $20,000. But that setup to me is so desirable. Having basically a huge turbo directly being, basically it's a turbo, crank mounted turbo, with the ability to under and overdrive in the gearbox. That's what I want to fuck with. So Vortex Supercharger, I got to put a call into you guys, but if Vortex Supercharger is out there listening, I'm interested. After the whole Edelbrock thing goes down and I run like an 850 or an 840 or whatever the fuck, that I'm good. And then, we're going to move on to get into the 7s, get way deep into the shit, get a good cage in the Fairmont. And I think I want to try something that hasn't been tried yet on a Coyote Mustang, is a crank mounted big centrifugal blower, 1300, 1400 wheel, dumb ass shit. I'm interested. Cuban Coyote says Shirley and Matt 760 can both get the dim and get gapped, but that would be a waste of my gas. Awaken Evil says, Alex, should I Godzilla swap my 350? RGR is taking forever for my build sleeve Predator block. Ford can have that shit here tomorrow. Yeah, if you want to tow the camper to, Yellowstone, put that Godzilla in your 350. All day, every day. I put an offer at H-Pip on my stock 14 GT with no tune, and my tuner won't be here for a week. Will I be okay to drive it to work around for a while, a week like that? Probably not. If there's no tune on it, the transport delay is going to be all fucked up. No, not the transport delay, but it's probably going to throw something called the P0420 and the P0430, which is a catalytic converter inefficiency code, because it's going to go, hey, there's no cat there. What the fuck? I don't think it'll adversely make I don't think it'll make your car run badly. But if I were you and you have the ability to log it, make sure that the fuel trims are good. And if it's just throwing a check engine light for P0420 and P0430, it should be okay. In my opinion. Just don't beat the shit out of it. Zach Merseth gave me $5. F-150 S550 says, any word on N-Gauge trans brake for F-150s? How does that work? We're not doing that shit. We are not doing that shit. Trans brake for an F-150? What are you doing? Oh, yeah, I just got out of work. I just want to trans brake. I'm going to bump in all the way through Burger King. Can I get a number 1 double large with a Diet Coke? Get the fuck out of here. David Jeffrey said, my last comment was regarding the stream today. Okay, thank you very much. I'm sorry about that. Cuban won't race me because his NT82 will blow up. He's not wrong. As 5 Shirley says. Schmitty Schmidt says, yes, bitch, I'm checking in late and I'm trying to tag you in all those Vortex Mustang posts. Hope the soundboard worked well. It's working pretty damn great.
full bolt on.
It is full bolt on. But yeah, that's what I'm interested in. Eventually, I think once the Edelbrock, I want to run like an 850 or an 840 in it and have it be the quickest Edelbrock supercharged car, whatever, ever. And then I want to really start talking to Vortec about that front mounted, badass, crank mounted. They said to run like a what did they say? A YSI. They said to run a YSI. I'm like, dude, I want to make like 1200, 1300. Like I want to blow my Coyote to smithereens. That's the plan. So we'll see if I can do it. Or just make the crank into a pretzel. All right, I'm going to start getting ready to go. So this might be good. This might be bad. I hope people weren't waiting for this to like go crazy, but I'm going to start getting ready to go so I can answer the peasant chat. Obviously, I'm caught up with the paid chat. Guys, today has been an insane number. 2.4 thousand. That's how it says. $2,400 has been raised today. Guys, I really appreciate it, but I really don't want this to become the norm. I don't. I really don't. Because then I feel pressure, right? I don't want to feel pressure. I want this to be fun, and I want to talk some shit, and I want to just kind of, just play dumb shit and just have fun. I don't want to, oh, I only made 2,400 last week. I got to make 20. I don't like that pressure. I like answering questions, just hanging out with people. I'm getting a new regular cab F-150 and with a rush blower. What will it make with bolt-ons? I want a trans brake also because I'm getting this regular cab to race. Jacob, stop it with that trans brake bullshit. Foot brake it. Just foot brake it. Trans brake NA bullshit. The fuck. Recommended setting for Viking double adjustable on manual S550 with 2811 Mickey bias ply. If knowing the tire matters. Okay. So on S550s, I go backwards, right? I do more rebound than compression, right? But obviously, you don't want the car to squat a lot. You don't want the car to squat a lot, but you also don't want it to not squat some. So I do like a 7-11, right? I could do 7 compression, 11 rebound, or 6-10, 6 compression, 10 rebound. Try that first. But again, the front end matters too, because if the front end comes up and then immediately comes back down, that's not going to help you. So if you can get dampening adjustability in the front end comes up, stays up. So that basically means rebound low, compression high. That's the way to do it, in my opinion. But start with 610 and see where you can go from there. But you gotta have all the bells and whistles, the lockouts, the I forget, the tow arm and all that bullshit. The cradle lockout bullshit and the stop the hop kit, which is basically Steeda's version of a here you go, stop the hop kit, and some Vikings, and it'll get you 90 or 85% of the way there. When you are ready for that crank mount Vortec, call me. I'll get you with the right guys over there. Smoke magnetic, it all depends on, because I don't think they make the drive. I think they make the head unit for the drive, and they know what to work with. But yeah, I forgot you had an affiliation with Vortec, Josh Hubble. So I'll definitely get with you probably tomorrow or the day after, and we'll see what we can do. Okay, I'm going to start getting out of here. John Lunn is still here saying we've tuned a few. I'm going to look at the peasant chat real quick. Don't worry, Alex. The peasant chat will always be here for you. Not cheesy, says. Boy, just foot brake it. Thank you. Exactly. Hook me up with a YOLO decal. I am out. I might have to start making them because obviously you guys are paying me good now, so I can probably start getting you some decals. If I do decals, what do you want? You want a full bolt-on decal? Do you want a full bolt-on shirt? Do you want my face on a full bolt-on sticker? I'll do whatever the fuck you want at this point. And if you guys just throw some ideas at me, whether it be here or in this video, after it uploads to YouTube, put it in the comments. Say, hey, Alex, I want decals, and I want the decals to say this or that, your face, your ass, chicken heart. Cal Brandon throwing another $100 in right before the end. He's like, oh, I'm still here. Fuck you. He says, thank you for the kind words, Alex. I cannot compete with John, nor will I. No, I appreciate it. Kyle, again, I feel totally weird taking your guys' money, but I'll take it. But again, I'm going to send money to everyone up at Lund Racing. When I go up there next time, I'm going to have to just buy lunch every fucking day. But I'm also going to send them money because nothing says I love you more than money. Guys, if you're going to send someone something and you don't know, if you're going to buy a present for someone, if it's another dude, just send them fucking money. They love it. F-150 content. Whew, that's going to be tough. But we do tune the quickest and fastest S550s around. That is, I'm sorry, S550, F-150. Sorry, F-150, S550 sounds exactly alike. All hail Kyle. I can't compete, but here's another 100 buckaroonies. A penis. Okay, you guys are all awesome. John Lund says. Bitcho 1 is good. Bitcho 1. Bolt on. Bitcho. Get your vortex set up and this bitch moves in my 10R80. Shout out to Dakota. We got it done in 5 logs. Badass. Chicken heart. What? Chicken heart. John, you don't know what a chicken heart is, John Lund? Go to your mirror in your house, right? And you're wearing jeans. Stick your balls out through your zipper. Leave the top button. Stick your balls out through the zipper and then zip it up a little bit and then look in the mirror. It looks like a chicken heart. That's a chicken heart. Show me your chicken heart. Kyle, the king, always gets the last punch. Looking for transmission upgrade for my 3-valve auto, full bolt-ons, Paxton 2200, 10 PSI, 550. He said 3-valve, full bolt-on, boosted, 515 at the wheel. Love you, bro. Shit. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Woo! Wow. Okay, we'll build bottom end in the future. Is it possible to do a 6R80 at what price versus TCI trans? Call power by the hour, brother. Call power by the hour. See if they can do that. See if you get. They'll see if you get that 515 to really pound that pavement. That 515 is gonna really rip up the concrete. Vincent Mastrangelo says, thank you for the answer. And yes, Pip, I don't use pipes, scrubs. Excellent. Dude, I would cut my balls off, said John Lund. Wow, you must have big balls. My balls don't fit through the zipper, says Mike G. Jason Freiberg laughing at the 515 Robo horsepower 3-valve. Now everyone running to the mirror. We want Toting decals. Toting! Oh, man, but then I got to talk to Joselito because that's his saying. So I got to make sure Joselito's okay with me doing shit like that. And then I got to come up with a design of a Toting. A Toting. Lightning Blue Meanie says, if I could tell my boss what a chicken heart is, I'd be so happy. I knew he would laugh. Great Cylinder McGee says, LOL. YouTube Corrupt is laughing. And Edwin Delgado says, hey, bitch, boundary or MMR oil pump gears. One last time. MMR. Out of those two, MMR. Take that shit to the bank. TSS, MMR, or Ford Racing. Damn 3-valve. Damn. Laughed at his ass. 3-valve Eric has front feet ball says, John said no more than $9.99 per question. Exactly. 515 going to toss a rod. Bye-bye. John Lund says, I remember when 515 was a lot. It was a lot back in the day. Just tuning in already. See, I'm too poor for this live stream again. Sabina Guzman, the new Civic has 500 horsepower. And Quick Stinger says, me too, Carlos. Now those are stock numbers. Okay. Next week's show, I'm going to be done. Everyone's like, 3-valve Eric has fluffy balls for next week's show. Dating stream Thursday. Yes, YouTube Corrupt Anti-Free Speech. I went out with someone today. It was very nice, very quick. And they understood where I was, I had to do this. So they were like, yeah, let's just meet up real quick. And it went really well, and I'll talk about it then. Everyone's like, damn MMR. Look, you gave me a choice between MMR oil pump gears and Boundary, and I choose MMR. Nothing against Boundary. I don't give a fuck. But if I'm going to build a car, I'm going to do TSSs or MMRs. Plain and simple. Do you prefer Ben Calamer built MTD6 or TR6060? How much is the cost for all? Hit up Ben Calamer for your transmission needs. Matt760 said I need weight reduction before my car does, shaking my head. He's right. He's right. All this mod money times put the Fairmont on kill mode, low to high. Well, it's going to put the red car hopefully to the track pretty soon. It's going to upgrade the equipment. I got the soundboard and I love the soundboard today. It's
Would you like
great.
another
Extra big ass frog.
You talk like a fag, and your shit's all retarded.
Exactly. I loved it. It's just the nice little upgrades that make the show better, and then I'll keep going and start adding a lot more. Eventually, I'm going to have a soundboard this big, and I have to like lay it out, and then it'll be a more, a more intuitive show where I hope I can get someone that thinks like me to just do the sound effects automatically, but I just don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Okay, guys, I am out of here. The chat today generated $2,600, way too much money. I'm going to send Lund the whole crew money just to like offset that shit. I really appreciate everyone that tuned in. You don't have to give all this money, but I appreciate you guys getting in here, getting after it, and making this chat and supporting this chat so that I can upgrade and bring you a bunch of knowledge. Thanks for the people that tuned in, and the Mach 1 stuff was great. For the people that had a bunch of suggestions on Instagram and Facebook about what sounds I should put into the soundboard, I appreciate everyone that reached out then. For those of you that don't watch my dating channel, my last show was fucking awesome. If you do not watch the dating channel, it is called The Dating Channel. Go there. The last show made me laugh so fucking hard. I heard it back, and I'm like, that's the best show I've ever done. It is absolutely the best show I've ever done when I talked about 69ing with the man on top. It was unbelievable. Thanks for listening, guys. I'll see you guys next week, and I'll try to get more draggy videos up about the red car and the white car. And for those of you that join me on the dating channel, I'll see you guys Thursday. Thanks for listening. See you later.